these things to artificially lower your blood pressure, they will die early. It increases your chances of death, taking years or decades off the end of your life by 60%. That is not me saying that. That is the New England Journal of Medicine. That is the Journal for the American Medical Association. The Lancet also did an article on that, and some of the popular magazines said that too. Now, in the popular magazines, they always throw in the word "it may." That means they've been influenced by outside money sources that have been guaranteed to protect this stream. Okay, so there you go. But as far as getting blood pressure down, you don't want to keep it high perpetually, but that's the only thing keeping you alive. Take this and think about this. We have a artery. Okay, that artery is now going to become blocked. So here's your artery, and this artery is going to become occluded, okay, blocked. Now, what's going to happen is we've blocked the artery. It's only 50% open now. So only this much blood can go through the little side of the hole there. Now, when you block that artery like you did, what do you think is going to happen to your blood pressure when you've blocked half the artery here and the blood can only get through, okay? Now, what has to happen to your blood pressure? It has to go up. Now, if your blood pressure goes up, then guess what happens? That guarantees that the same amount of blood gets to those vital organs on the other side of the blockage at the same rate and the same speed. Because if they don't, what happens is you become anemic. If you become anemic for too long, then your bodies start to shut down. Your vital organs start to shut down, and we call that shock. So you can't have that because shock will lead to death if it's prolonged. So what do you do with these statins and these pills for lowering blood pressure artificially? Well, it makes your artery, which flexes, all right, it makes it lose its flexibility and it keeps it open. So if we open up the blood vessel, guess what happens? The blood pressure automatically lowers inside the blood vessel because you've dilated it. So your brain no longer has control in order to make this happen. So now, is the blood, because you lowered the blood pressure, is the blood going faster or slower through the artery? It's going slower. And if it's going slower, that means that now the vital organs on the other side, they don't get their nutrients. And what I just said begins to happen. That's why you die early. You cannot let a doctor compare you to somebody on your wall. There is no such thing as a set limit for blood pressure for every human being. My blood pressure could be normal at 140/90. Yours could be normal at 110/70. Somebody else, they could be normal at 120/80. But everybody is not going to be 120/80. Everybody should not be in the same category of blood pressure. And if high blood pressure was so bad, you should never get on a treadmill. You should never get on a piece of equipment. You should never lift a weight, because all that does is raise your blood pressure. Okay, so don't let anybody tell you all this junk. They're doing that so they can get you scared, so they can put you on a medication. All right, that equals money. All right, let's get to some more here. All right, okay, good. All right, Mark, you got your answer. I see you. Oh no, what happened to the questions? Let me see. What would you say about black seed oil? Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can get this. Elior. Oh, no, that's Nabil. Yes. All right. I think that's yes. All right. So he's asking about black seed oil. Now, black seed oil, one of the best remedies I've ever seen as far as almost any condition. You can take it as a capsule. You can rub it on skin cancers, and it almost completely takes the skin cancers away. Like within weeks, sometimes days you'll see it, but in weeks, you can actually eliminate a skin cancer using black seed oil as long as it's pure. You see, I have to take everything with a grain of salt when we say, and you guys should too, when we talk about natural remedies, because what people will do is, I'll say get potassium, they'll go buy the cheapest potassium supplement because it's all they can afford. Can't blame you. At least you get something. But what they'll usually do is they'll say it's potassium, and when you turn it around on the back, it'll say something else like potassium ascorbate or ascorbate or something like that. It's not the real element of potassium. It's a derivative of that's usually severely, like 95% diluted. So you would have to take actually the whole bottle to get what you need, but you can't do that because it's got other adjuvants in it. So that's why I believe in the purest sources possible when it comes to my vitamins and minerals. I know it costs a little bit more, but it's worth it. Okay, it's worth it. All right, now black seed oil, also black salve, which usually uses activated charcoal and black seed oil. Actually, one of the best things I've ever seen for skin cancer, or basically anything as well. But black seed oil can be taken internally. Black salve is supposed to be rubbed on your skin. Okay, so black salve, see if you can look into that too, because that's an old remedy and it works. Okay, trust me, it works. And you'll notice that I don't say this, Irene. I have lesions and things on my bodies where I have gotten rid of, and wait, let me see. Where'd it go? Well, it's not there anymore. Wait a minute. I think I got one. Yeah, it's up on my shoulder here. All right, but I don't know. I used to have a big round mole. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I got a big old round mole on my shoulder there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. Is that the right arm? Let me see. Yeah, I think that was it. But I used to have a big old mole on my right arm there, and it's gone now because I did use, yes, I saw it. So I did use the black salve on there, and guess what? Gone. Now, I learned that from a holistic person where I went to a seminar and they actually laid this on me, and I was blown away by the result because I didn't think you could rub anything on your body without taking something internally and get rid of a skin tag or a skin cancer or a mole or cancerous mole or whatever. But it works, and it worked fast. Okay, so let me see here. What do we got? Thank you for the information. It's great. Souk. Wait a minute. Souk Gil. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Methyl sulfate, dimethyl sulfate. Good for getting rid of, I would say, stage 1 cancers. Any kind of sulfurs or sulfur compounds, they tend to remedy cancer and dangerous cells, bacteria, things like that, without harming or damaging your healthy cells. So Truth Freeze, that's what we got for you. All right. So, yes. Wait a minute. Where is somebody named K.A.? Oh, no, that is K.A. All right, now, K.A., I want to tell you something. K.A., I did not know that you actually, those were the initials for your name, but I'm actually doing a program called KA22, Kick-Ass 22, and I'm going to start that at the end of October. All right, October 22nd. That's when I'm going to do it. It's not September. I know I say it to some people it's September. It's going to be October 22nd, and I'm actually going to do a cleanse week leading up to working out, and I'm going to show you the workouts in the gym that you guys can do so that every day you can see what you can do in order to work out, lose weight, and just to get you started. It's not a complete workout program. I know there's other people out there who got great workout plans. I'm not trying to take their place. What I'm trying to do is get you guys started eating right, but I'm making this a nice, smooth exercise, and I'm going to go hard in some of them, but a nice, smooth, easy exercise routine so that you guys can do the exercise part. But remember, exercise is only 20% of any weight loss. The other 80% are metabolism and what you eat. That is the biggest part of dropping weight. Okay, so do not believe that exercise is the big part. It's what you eat, and it's how you burn after you get out of the gym. Okay, now it says, Our Truth says, your opinion on blending versus juicing. Now, blending versus juicing. I believe juicing keeps the integrity of the juice a little bit more. I do agree with that. However, I blend. Why? Because it's quicker, it's easier cleanup, because it's not practical. Juicing is not practical. If you think that you're going to use a juice machine, get the juice out of the vegetable, which is good, all right, excellent, keeps the temperature and everything right. what it's going to do is you got to clean this thing. This thing is just hell on earth to clean. It's like 20, 30 minutes to clean this thing every time you use it. And if you don't clean it, it gets bacteria in there. And then you're juicing bacteria and the juice comes out less and less because the little spigots or the screen that's inside the juicer gets gummed up with the raw juice that you left in there to dry if you don't clean it. So it turns into too much of a mess. I blend, but with a caveat. I always put ice or ice water, purified ice water, into my smoothies so that I can preserve the temperature. So even though the speed is high, see, the high speed is supposed to produce heat, and heat is supposed to kill the nutrients. Well, I've gotten around that, and I've noticed that I still feel the same way that I used to juice with my Jack LaLanne juicer and my new NutriBullet RX. So I feel the same way as when I did both. All right. And I'm going to tell you, juicing, you will be coming out of pocket with huge amounts of cash if you use a real juicer. Okay. So what they call like a cold press juicer, or something that slowly blends and squeezes the juice out of a vegetable or a fruit. I mean, it's I'm telling you all, don't learn from my mistakes, please. All right. Blend it, but add ice or ice water. It preserves the nutrients, and it tastes great, and it's easy to clean. That's it. That's all I got to say about it. All right. All right. Oh, yes, she's got them. Okay. So very nice. All right. I got Dwayne Jordan on here. All right. So let me see. I see what he's got. Okay. Dwayne, I would say yes to that question. That sounds excellent. Now, if you're going to do carbs, okay, I would suggest you do low glycemic berries, especially if you've already been, they've told you are diabetic. Now, I'm going to warn you about something. Please do not let them diagnose you as pre-diabetic. You see, diabetes, either you have it or you don't. It's like being pregnant. If you are pre-diabetic, that means you ain't diabetic yet. So you can't be almost or somewhat pregnant, right? So if we go by that definition, all of us are pre-diabetic, right? So don't fall for that bullshit, okay? Diabetes, either you have it or you don't. Approaching don't count. Getting close to doesn't matter, okay? As long as you're outside the range of what they consider diabetes, then you'll be fine. Now, as long as you're not having any severe headaches, if you're not peeing proteins out, you'll notice a nice sweet smell to your urine. That's bad, okay? So that's when you know stuff is going too far. Your vision starts to get blocked, or you start seeing black spots in your vision. You start getting these rashes on your body, swelling in limbs and joints. That kind of thing with diabetes lets you know you're getting into the late stages. You don't have to go to a doctor to figure that out. However, if you do want to keep up with this stuff and you just want to make sure, like a lot of people do, they want to make sure, then go ahead, and I completely agree with everything that you put in this question as far as that, except for the carbs for the first 2 weeks. If you're going to try to kick diabetes, stay away from sugar so that you can get your body in a fat burning mode that eases the pressure off of your pancreas, puts more of the pressure on your liver, a more resilient organ, and then you can start reducing or reversing your diabetes quickly. Okay, so just get that. And remember, if you're doing diabetes, everybody out there, people in your family that got diabetes, make sure they are taking GTF chromium and vanadium. Okay, GTF chromium and vanadium. All right, now GTF stands for glucose tolerance factor, meaning that it's built for diabetes, because if you have weak kidneys, you cannot take regular chromium because regular chromium may shut down your kidneys. So you have to get GTF. That's why I keep putting that in front, because I want to make sure you stay safe while you're recovering. Okay, good stuff. All right, I see. All right, she says, Da Zhang says, do you know how to naturally cure epilepsy? Please answer and give me some hope. You don't need hope, Da Zhang. It's pretty easy to do that. Now, whenever you're dealing with a nervous condition, epilepsy is characterized by seizures. What's happening is you need to incorporate a whole bunch of different types of omega-3 fats. Now, that means you also need omega-6s. So what you need to do is you may need to, I would say the omega-3s are going to be avocado, any kind of nuts, but I'm going to warn you to stay away from almonds. I will say stay away from almonds, okay? Because